This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Time to get you ready to take on your Wednesday with the morning sprints.
Yeah, you'll need summer gear at the ready. Mark will tell you why with his forecast coming up.
But first, voters in North Idaho decided the fate of the Coeur d'Alene and Lakeland School District levies last night. Let's get you right to Destiny Richards with the latest numbers.
Results from last night's election are showing more voters in favor of the school levies for Coeur d'Alene Public Schools and Lakeland School District. With 100% of the precincts reporting this morning, the $25 million Coeur d'Alene supplemental levy passes with 17,602 voting in favor, 10,131 voted against. In the Lakeland School District, nearly 10,000 people cast their votes. The supplemental levy there is passing with 54% of the vote. That levy requires just a simple majority. And the plant facilities levy needed 55% of the vote to pass. It looks like it is going to pass by just 0.2%. Both districts are expected to discuss the levies today. We'll continue to follow what happens for schools in North Idaho going forward. And if you'd like to see all the unofficial results from yesterday's election, see KXLY.com.
The battle over the Liberty Lake Library took center stage at the City Council meeting. With a 4-3 vote, the council approved an ordinance to appoint a City Council member to attend Library Board of Trustee meetings as an observer. It also allows the council to individually approve or reject all current library policies, retroactive to each of the latest adopted versions currently in place as of February 21st, along with any new or revised policies moving forward with a simple majority.
The body pulled from the Spokane River last week has been identified as 20-year-old Joseph Kamau. We first told you about Kamau's disappearance from his home near Gonzaga in early March. His family told us at the time they were concerned about his disappearance because he left personal items in his apartment. The medical examiner has not yet released the cause of his death.
An assistant professor at North Idaho College is in jail accused of battery. Zachary Schallbetter teaches web and graphic design. He was booked into the Kootenai County Jail yesterday afternoon. According to a jail log, NIC trustee Todd Banducci made a citizen arrest on Schallbetter. Schallbetter faces charges including battery and malicious injury to property. Both carry a $300 bond each. We have left messages with Banducci, Coeur d'Alene Police, and North Idaho College to get more information.
All right, let's talk about our forecast. In the first alert weather, heading out right now, temperatures very mild. I mean, we're into the mid to upper 50s throughout a lot of the areas, a little cooler in Deer Park, 50, and then down into areas of Cheney at 51 degrees, but high humidity, so it's that dampness. We look at the satellite and radar, very busy into parts of Montana, North Idaho. This continues to move south of I-90, losing some of its steam, losing some of its energy, so isolated and scattered thunderstorm potential still out there for this afternoon, but not like what we saw yesterday. Forecast radar has cloud cover coming in for the afternoon. Our high today, we're going to get to 81 degrees. We're going to be in the mid to upper 70s all afternoon.
And a juror in the Lori Vallow Daybell trial is breaking his silence. Saul Hernandez is one of the 12 jurors who found the so-called doomsday mom guilty on all charges. She's been convicted of murdering her 2 children, 16-year-old Tylee and 7-year-old JJ, and conspiring to kill the wife of her lover and now husband Chad Daybell. In an ABC News exclusive, Hernandez revealing he was the lone holdout on one of the murder charges, but he eventually, on the second day of deliberations, agreed that Lori was guilty, convinced by reviewing the evidence. That full interview with Hernandez is coming up next on Good Morning America.
This morning, the Secret Service is investigating how a man was able to get inside the home of President Joe Biden's national security advisor. A spokesperson says the man entered Jake Sullivan's Washington, D.C. home around 3 in the morning through an unlocked door yesterday, even though Sullivan has round-the-clock Secret Service protection. Sources say the man appeared intoxicated and, after being confronted by Sullivan, left within minutes, possibly not knowing where he was. Attacks and threats on lawmakers are up 400% in the last 6 years.
Well, Governor Jay Inslee signed a new drug possession bill into law. Lawmakers were called back to Olympia to tackle the state's drug possession law that's set to expire on July 1st. The new bill aims to help more people who are facing drug addiction by adding nearly $20 million in recovery centers and youth services. The new bill would also make illegal drug possession and public drug use gross misdemeanors. It would also limit the fine for drug possession to $1,000. The law goes into effect on July 1st.
In New Orleans, the bid to ban mifepristone nationwide goes before a 3-judge federal appeals court today. In today's hearing, the court will weigh in on the safety of the drug mifepristone. Federal judges have already issued rival rulings on the drug this year, but in this particular case, a lower court ruled the government broke the law in how it approved the drug years ago. The judge's decision will likely play a role in how the Supreme Court will eventually approach the legal dispute.
Well, there's growing concern that Scraps is violating its no-kill policy. During public comment at Monday night City Council meeting, former Scraps employees accused the shelter of putting down dogs that could have been saved. Scraps claims it's only put down dogs that have either extreme behavior or extreme medical issues. But former Scraps employees say some of the animals that were euthanized didn't have to be.
If you are heading out on I-90 tonight or tomorrow morning, expect some delays between Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. Crews have just finished work on the eastbound lane of the new Kramer Parkway undercrossing. The westbound lane will be closed at 7 tonight until 5 tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at weather again after this.